going on YouTube? Thanks for tuning into this video. In this video, we're going to break down a residential housing investment versus an RV park investment. Which one has a higher ROI? Which one makes better cash flow? Which one should you invest in 2023? We're going to get right into it. So I have two examples here, a residential housing investment and an RV park, to see which one's better to invest in and which one gives you a higher return on investment. So for the residential home, the typical residential home, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, is right around $300,000 purchase price. Now, that depends obviously where you're at, but typically, if you're gonna get, let's say maybe a 30-year loan, fixed rate at 6%, you're gonna need to put down around 20% of the full market price. So if it's $300,000, which is the typical 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house price in the United States, typically you're gonna need to put down around 20%, which would be $60,000. So right off the bat, you're gonna need to start with a $60,000 down payment, and your payment most likely will be around roughly $1,800 a month, give or take, but roughly it should be around that ballpark considering that interest rates are going up. I just put it in at 6% for 30 years, fixed rate. You're gonna be paying about $1,800 a month for your mortgage. Now it depends. Maybe somebody, maybe you're watching out there and you have cash and you want to buy a residential home for cash. But most of you watching most likely would do a mortgage, which is around $60,000 for the down payment. So after you've bought the house, you're paying now $1,800. You put already $60,000 into the down payment. That house most likely is going to rent out for around $2,400 a month. That's a little on the higher side. Once again, it depends on where you're at, depends on where the rents are going. But roughly, I would say for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a value of around $300,000, you're going to be able to rent that out for roughly $2,400 a month. That is give or take. Obviously, you could get a little bit more. Maybe you did Airbnb, you could get a little bit more. But I'm just going on a month-to-month basis. Maybe you get some renters in there long-term, maybe a year lease. I would say it's reasonable to say you would get around $2,400 a month in monthly revenue, monthly income coming in from that property. Now, you have to take into consideration you do have a mortgage of $1,800 a month. So right off the bat, that $2,400, you got to take away $1,800 because that's what you have to pay for your mortgage. Obviously, the renter is paying that mortgage, which is nice, but that $2,400 automatically goes down to $600 a month in positive cash flow. So meaning after you pay your mortgage, you're down now to $600 a month that you're making profit. Now you got to take into consideration there's a couple different expenses you're going to have for this residential home. First of all, you're going to need to have a property manager, unless you're going to be the property manager, but typically if you're watching this, you want it to be passive, right? So you're going to need to pay a property manager. The property manager typically is 10% of whatever your rent is. So the rent for this property is $2,400. Typically, you're going to need to pay 10% on that, which is around $240. And what that property manager is going to do, they're going to check up on the renters, make sure they're, paying the rent. They're going to probably collect the rent. They are going to cut the grass for you if there's any, lawns. They are going to be out of the property, making sure everything is running smoothly. So you're going to need to pay your property management team, whoever that is, whether that's you or somebody else. Next would be taxes. Taxes fluctuate, but typically if you have a $300,000 home, you're probably depending on what state you're in, that could be anywhere from $1,500 a year to $3,000 a year. Totally depends on the state that you're in. But typically that number is going to be probably maybe like $150 a month, maybe $200 a month. Kind of just depends. But should be somewhere in that ballpark. Also maintenance. What if something breaks down? What if the washer and dryer gives out? Or what if the refrigerator gets out? Well, that's your obligation to get it fixed. So that could eat in the price. That's just kind of subject to change. But roughly, I would say these extra expenses could be around $400 a month. So really, that $2,400 a month, that's going all the way down minus the $400. You're looking at maybe $200 a month in positive cash flow. That's not that much. Obviously, once it's paid off and that mortgage is done with, you're going to make a nice amount of cash flow, but it's going to take a long time. You're probably going to sell it by then. You could make a nice profit off of the capital gains, but overall, it's not looking so good. You're only making $200 a month in positive cash flow, which is not that great. I would say your best bet for this would be to do Airbnb. That would be a reasonable consideration. You could definitely raise up those prices and maybe get, as much as $3,000, maybe $4,000 a month before you pay your mortgage. I would say that's probably reasonable. Now let's go to the RV park situation. Which one has a better ROI? So I'm going to take, for example, my RV park and what I experienced. Obviously, it's subject to change for everybody, but this could just kind of give you a general overview of what an RV park could look like on a smaller scale in comparison with a residential home. So I bought my RV park for $85,000 market price for 10 acres of land. It was barren land. There was nothing there, just trees. There was no road. There was no septic. There was no electric. Nothing there, just 10 acres of land. I bought it for $13,000 as a down payment for, I bought it for $13,000 as a down payment, followed by monthly payments of $619 a month for 15 years at a 6.5% interest rate. This was done through owner financing, meaning the owner sold it to me with a contract in a rent-to-own situation. I did not go through a bank. I did not go through a realtor, just me and the owner, and we set up a contract in which I pay $619 a month for 15 years. Once I got the property and I bought the property with my down payment, I then put in $60,000 in development. I developed the road, the septic, the electric, the water. I carved each spot and I put hookups for each RV. Roughly altogether it was about $60,000 in development. So $60,000 plus $13,000, that's around $73,000 in total that I put up to get this RV park up and going. This RV park now has 14 spots. Each spot is renting out at $550 a month. That comes out to $7,700 a month in monthly cash flow. Now, I do have to pay the electric. I do have to pay taxes. I do have to pay a loan for that $60,000. I got it from a private investor. All in all, it comes out to about $2,500. I also have a property manager that I pay. But all in all, everything all together, right around $2,500, which means my net operating income from this RV park is over $5,000. I make $5,200 a month without doing almost hardly anything. I do answer a couple calls. I send people out. But overall, I put $73,000 into it. And now I make $5,200 a month in monthly cash flow. Great return. If you compare the two, you're only making a couple $100 a month here with almost the same investment. This is a $60,000 investment. This is a $73,000 investment. This investment brings $5,200 right away once you're up and going, versus this is only making a couple $100 a month. And this is most likely going to appreciate even more. I bought it for $85,000. The property now is almost $300,000 in terms of its appreciated value. So it's right on track with this one here, and it's doing way more in monthly revenue. That's not even considering, the appreciation is not considering the revenue. That's a business on top of it, which has a higher appreciation value. We're just talking the land. But overall, I think RV parks are a much better investment than residential. It's going to be more accessible, especially in a down economy. More people are going to go to RV parks for cheaper living. Less and less people are going to be owning their own homes. More are going to be renting, and they're not only that, but $2,400 a month is expensive for people. People want to only be paying $550 a month. Why wouldn't you? So I think RV parks are going to blow up in 2023. I think it's a great investment for you. As you can see, the return is much higher on an RV park versus a residential home. That's why I highly recommend it, and it's almost the same price to get started. If you like this video, watch my video here where I talk about how to start an RV park. And if you like this content, please hit subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. Comment any questions you have below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.